here for a very dangerous black.
What's up? What's up? What's up? All right, C Double's in the house. The CLR show. Now I got my guys Ladarius and Ron coming in eventually. So we get it. We're going to be really just going full throttle on the conversation. You know, smash it. We're on YouTube channel C Double 28. This is where we do our shows. This is where we're talking about everything in football and in wrestling. Wanted to kind of do this because I hadn't been able to get on due to family obligations. So I have been kind of, it's like I've watched everything. It's just, you know, things haven't been able to get me a way to do. We're going to be able to do this good here. I got all my stuff situated. All right, let's talk about WWE is get on with WrestlePalooza all night. You saw it. Brock Lesnar showing up with John Cena. Last time we'll see John Cena on SmackDown. Best thing I can say to that is, dear God, if we had John Cena doing all this the last 5 years, I don't think anybody would be complaining. But I have enjoyed this John Cena run since he's turned face. Probably some of the best creative, some of the best, well, not best creative, but at least you could definitely tell. However they're coming across this, they're doing a great job. And then, you know, biggest thing out of it was the AJ Lee return. And I would like to officially state what I think about all this with AJ, with CM Punk, with the way WWE has been taken off to another level. Thank you, Tony Khan, for being the biggest imbecile. Because losing Cody was one thing. Losing CM Punk is probably the dumbest thing you'll ever do. Now, by the way, guys, please hit the comments section. We'll talk about everything, we'll discuss. So I look quite forward to discussing everything with you guys. But yeah, seeing what WWE did, how they're setting up Brock versus Punk, or Brock versus, they had to, you know, you only got the limited. It made what Cena will be doing, and how are they going to work the time? I'll talk about the kind of thing in the room that no one wants to talk about. All right, and here's the deal. I'm excited about this angle. I'm excited about when I saw Becky Lynch help Seth Rollins in that match. I was excited because it only, to me, it meant one thing. We were getting AJ Lee. But now the big question is, what's going to be next? What's the plan? And before we go, we need to wait and see. All I have to say is, you now have my. Yeah, I know, John. Give me a second. I'm going to see if I can switch this to Wi-Fi, and if that will help. I don't care. You know, no, I got help. We'll be Georgia game, it's actually been moved up from 3:30 to 2:30. So that's something also to be kind of mindful of. Um, I, I have no support. I want to make this clear. I've lost ability to keep my StreamYard account because it was costing some money. I wasn't able to keep up with it. So I had to disconnect. Now I'm using the free stuff. So if maybe that's also a reason, I'm sorry to the people that watch this. If it comes off as cheap or looks bad, it's just, times are tough. So I'm just doing what I can to stay in the positive. So with that being said, also want to talk about the WWE's productive or creative, and why you got to thank Tony Khan for being an idiot, because Tony Khan let CM Punk walk, and CM Punk had plenty in the tank. Let's not kid ourselves. Was he injured at times? Did he look? I think he looked disinterested after the whole brawl out situation. CM Punk saw the room and realized he was in there with a bunch of clowns. You've heard the Ariel Helwani interview. You kind of felt the frustrations. So now let's talk about what happens when you have that situation going on. You're not happy. You don't feel like whatever you do is going to work. And you got a bunch of idiots playing to try to sabotage you. And I would like, and people go, well, he picked a younger talent over Punk. Well, here's the problem. Punk was your superstar. Congratulations. Where's AEW now? Didn't they just have their lowest number rating? After announcing their streaming deal, which is embarrassing, by the way. Everyone's laughing at Triple H. Hold on, let's say this. Everyone laughed at Triple H, said he wouldn't deliver. Triple H, hold my beer and watch this. I agree, but now let's talk about Triple H. For every successful return, we have an R-Truth, or a Sami Zayn, or a what the hell's going on in the women's division on SmackDown. I believe WWE is in a point you might want to bring back rosters to be one again, or the splits need to be limited. And I feel like for us to really, Ron, I'm sending it to you right now. Give me a second, brother. Thought I sent it to you. Here we go. So are there guys that or women that don't get used and get lost in the sauce? Yes. And my biggest question, because I know people now after seeing Nikki Bella embarrass herself, and we're going to talk about that. Nikki Bella not just embarrass herself. I dare say she probably just made it where the fans will really hate her. And quite honestly, the woman shouldn't even be in the business. Back in her time. But these women are now better, stronger, faster, and they can hit a drop kick and make sure they hit the person. Yeah, all the sickos are upset. Look, how did they sign AJ Lee? Because she saw how they treated her husband, CM Punk. They saw that this second chance actually meant a damn. And they waited for the right time. And yes, this WrestlePalooza, we all have heard people talk down about it or talked about, oh, this is just a cash grab. Guess what? It is. But guess what? We can still do it. So deserved. I don't feel a damn bit sorry for him. I think Tony Khan and his idiots that run the back, Uncle Dave, all those idiots. Look, you're pathetic. All right. And everybody isn't really operating on a great creative right now. But when WWE wants to be something, watch SmackDown from last night. SmackDown was boring, stuff like. And again, I apologize for everything. Oh shit! Okay, hold on. I'd like to send apologies to everybody. I've sent the wrong link out to people, so I apologize about that. In my R-Truth voice, my bad. So my co-host will show up. Sorry about that, folks. I did not refresh my stuff. It happens. So, and the table don't break. All right. I'm actually watching SmackDown right now. I was watching a football game last night too. So, all right. Let's see here. We got the crew. Sorry about that. My bad. I hit the wrong link. So, I apologize.
Yeah, dude.
No, it's not good. It's not good with me. It's not good with me. It's not good. I want that stated for the record.
Okay, put it on my tab. I apologize. We'll deal with punishments later. All right. So, folks, this is my crew. This is my crew, folks. We got Mr. Ron Thomas.
What's up?
We got Mr. What's up, man? And then we got, of course, Mr. King Petty himself, Mr. Ladarius freaking Brown. Did I do it right this time? Do I do it right? Hold on. I know what it is. Did I do it right this time?
Dang.
What do I do now? I told you I messed up.
No. I'm going to be quiet and I'll just speak when I'm spoken to because.
Come on! You can't be quiet when this is our show.
Yeah, it's in the contract. I can. Yeah, it's pretty much free reign.
All right, guys. So I was just talking about kind of like what WWE. All right, hold on. So look, first of all, I messed up. I thought I sent the right link, and apparently when I was sending it, I sent the link to the last show. So luckily, when Ladarius actually told me that, I went, "Oh shoot, my bad." So that was why we couldn't get you guys on here at the same time. So I apologize. My bad. I take the fall. It's almost like going to Dublin, Georgia, not Dublin, Ireland. Let's see. Give me a second. I know. There's no excuse for me. But, it could be worse. I could be Jerry Jones's buddy who let him do the Michael Parsons. So, all right. We could talk wrestling. We could talk football right now. What would you guys like to discuss right now?
How about football?
All right. Well, Darius, you good with that? All right. Well, look, we got to watch 2 games. Finally, we got games on. All right. We got to see the Dallas Cowboys. I think we've ever seen because within 6 seconds of the game, a man spits on Dak Prescott and gets disqualified. And then we have lightning. And then Dallas just didn't know how to play football in the second half. So, or couldn't stop the run. Imagine that. We know about the Micah Parsons trade, but we can give our thoughts about it, and we will. What was your impressions of the fight or the Eagles versus Cowboys? To me, I'll give you my thoughts, but what do y'all think? I want to know what you guys gathered from the game. What was your impressions? We'll start with Ron, and we'll go to Ladarius.
To be honest, I thought it would be closer in the first half than a blowout in the second half. But that before the pieces, got sent to the locker room, Then Jalen Carter come from Georgia. But if that did not happen, I thought it would have been a blowout. So Lord,
that's one of the best comments. He did the hot tour.
Lord have mercy. But if that did not happen, if that did not happen, it wasn't going to be a blowout, in my opinion. But and did Jerry Jones say something about stopping the run? How many yards they gave up during that game?
Too many.
So how you trying to stop the run, but you gave up nothing? But that's what I got for you.
I hear you. Ladarius, Mr. Laddie Daddy, Mr. King Petty, all the great stuff. What say you?
First of all, that felt very unnecessary. But number two. just listen. You know what? I pictured the thing is, John, I pictured that whole when she said the hot tool. I pictured that. I'm like, it wasn't right, but it wasn't wrong either. So it's like, John missed out watching the last pay-per-view, like me and John, and then we were talking about the cock. Ron wasn't on board with watching about the cock. And I feel that it kind of ties together. But anyway, he gets it. I'll be brief. I don't want to take up too much time. I think the takeaway is that A, it's a rivalry game, and B, I'm not surprised the game was close, because we have to understand is that Dallas is not offensively, they're not terrible. They had opportunities to win this football game. And whether it's CeeDee Lamb dropping passes, or we could have a different conversation about that football game, because Dallas, to an extent, kind of exposed the Eagles in terms of their corners. Their secondary is maybe a little suspect. But I think as for the whole, spinning incident from Jalen Carter, the case could be made that Dak was the one who actually spat first. But you didn't see that. Is that they caught this? They always catch. It's no different than when you're in school. They'll never catch the first person who does it. They'll catch the person who reacts to it. And that's exactly essentially what Jalen Carter, he was the guy that reacted to it, and he got ejected. And it's like, at the end of the day, Dallas had a chance to win this football game, and you could argue that CeeDee Lamb, and people were like, I'm not trying to put the gambling perspective. When I saw, Dallas, I saw the line move from it went from 6.5, and I'm like, listen, I'll take Dallas in the points. I think Philly, I still felt Philly was going to win, but I would took Dallas in the points because of the fact that the offense, defensively, they got to figure some things out, because they let they let Jalen Hurts just essentially escape the pocket. While they got him up the middle, he was still able to go out. He was still able to go east and west and get yardage. And that's the point of concern, is that if you had a guy like Micah guarding the middle or as a playmaker on, you could have that's a whole different argument I could make for another day or later in the show or whenever. But the fact of the matter is, it was a very good competitive football game, and I still think the Eagles are a great football team. And I think, listen, we understand they're NFC, they're rivals. So you're going to bring up the best of one another. So it doesn't surprise me how close it was. It surprised me that Dallas had a chance to win. That was the surprising part. That the Philly, they let Dallas, they kept Dallas in the game. And so, ultimately, if you're CD, if you make one of those catches, two of those catches even, we're having a different conversation today. But it was all in all, it was a good game all in all. King Petty out.
I felt the same way. I thought Dallas was going to give a good game because, as you said, it's a rivalry game. And not just that, their offense isn't really bad. It's just, did you know that their run game was going to be a factor or not? I think we also need to look at Jalen Carter, what kind of impact he had. Because you got to remember, you didn't have time to just pivot, to just go, all right, guys, best guy is out. You. So I think they did good. Or it's like this. What we should be talking about isn't just about Jalen Carter. We need to talk about Jalen Hurts. Because he carried that game. I think the running game, it's like this. They didn't have to get a whole lot from A.J. Brown. And it's like
one pass, one catch.
You need to win the games. Can you get to your best players and make the plays? And that one catch, guess what? He ends up, they're the winners. Eagles, the way they were, throwing the ball at the corners, they were really, attacking the Eagles' corners. So I'm intrigued to see what happened. Ron, you said it to me yesterday or Thursday or Friday. Dallas is basically the NFC version of the Bengals. They're going to have a good offense, but the defense is going to cost them games.
Right.
So, and the other thing I'll say is this: we got to see how far does Dak and the guys stay healthy. Because any injuries, it's going to be very, very, very tough.
Because the number one thing the number one thing you got to do as a defense, stop the run. If you stop the run, 9 times 10, it will be everything on the other quarterback. If you cannot stop the run, then you're going to have a bad day. And you go back to what I just said. Look at all the yards Philly got on that defense. So.
I think that was my thoughts on the game. And also, anytime you have a lightning, what was it? Delay, I think it takes a lot out of both teams. Because you've already had your halftime. They were playing. They were able to, I think, stop or get a fumble. But it was like, so the next thing I got to ask is, so we saw the classic that was the San Diego the Kansas City Chiefs. First play out, or not even first play first year, getting taken out by his own teammate. I'll tell you, Brazil, I don't know, maybe it's something in the air, but guys don't need to be getting playing there because they get knocked out around there. What did you think of the game? But also the Chiefs throughout the game, because you could if
got to get her knee unlocked.
well, there's
Yeah, I'm here.
okay. Now I was just going to you first about the Kansas City and the LA Chargers.
Oh no, you can go to Ron. Oh, you can go to Ron. It's okay.
Oh, okay. Ron, what
Yeah,
do you
you're
think
right.
about the LA Chargers and the what was the Kansas City game? By the way, first time on YouTube like that, they didn't have any problems. I watched it through Tom Grassi's live stream.
Yeah.
It was actually really fun. And commercial breaks were great, or they were
Right.
minimum. There were pictures of Brazil. So, well, no, I was just saying like the fade-ins. Now they
Right.
did have their commercials, but
To me, the Chargers.
no doubt.
To me, the Chargers always been a good team. It just when the playoffs get here, can they not be injured? Can they really do something? To me, in my opinion, they always been a good team. It says when the playoffs get here, or when they finally get hot, injuries and all that, can it be 1 year they not get injured? So we just see the whole package. That's all I'm waiting for. If you do that to the team that went to the Super Bowl 3 years in a row, what can you do in the playoffs? And that's what I'm waiting on. That's my question right there. See,
Sorry, I just got a thing about Wade Barrett being pulled from Monday Night Raw, or being pulled from commentary. So I got a couple of things to say about that. That kind of pisses me off. But yeah, all right, Ladarius, what's your thoughts about LA Chargers? Just tell me, brother.
No, I'm unmuted.
Okay,
Can
yeah, I
you
can
hear?
hear you now.
Just taking notes. That's all.
Yeah, I can hear you. I don't know what's going on, man.
But we're probably on a delay.
I'm trying, and I got this on wireless, so I don't know if it's that or what's going on.
But I think we're on a delay. But I'll say this: I think that this game it felt different out of the style that Jim Harbaugh loves to run. He likes to use the run game to set the passing game, and Justin Herbert looked phenomenal. And I think a lot of the Josh Herbert rhetoric is that what makes this more impressive. Like he didn't have like Rashawn Slater. He didn't have offense. He didn't have a key piece to this great offensive line, and he was able to look good, make passes. To Lad McConkey, Quentin Johnston actually looked like a guy. If we're looking for a number 2 guy on the team, we don't know who that is. We know Lad's the clear number 1 guy. And I think this Chief defense was just simply overwhelmed by the way that this Chargers offense and Greg Roman, designed. Because we remember Greg Roman was with I believe it was with Baltimore last season, and we kind of saw with Lamar Jackson how Lamar, how the passing game changed there in Baltimore. And I think Greg tried to brought that over here because Greg is kind of like he's a players coordinator. Like he tempers his style to his quarterback, and Justin Herbert can throw it with the best of them. Lamar has a great arm, and it's like you don't have to lean like on the run game. I just felt bad for those who had like Omarion Hampton, thinking that he's going to get like 15 carries. Like they were highly disappointed because the Chargers were not afraid to throw against that defense, and it's something that Greg Roman and Jim Harbaugh must have saw in the preparation, and that was a rarity looking at like a Steve Spagnuolo-led defense, especially with the time with the Chiefs, how they just look vulnerable in their pass defense. And in the story that going in was like this Chiefs front seven, like the George Karlaftis and Chris Jones, like they're going to come after Herbert with that, especially with the weak spot on the offensive line with Slater. But the Chargers look very well, and listen, it was a well-deserved win. And you know, like I said, I'm not saying the Chargers for the division, but the Chiefs looked vulnerable since last season, and it's similar. I don't want to use a compare and contrast here, but it's kind of like when the Falcons after that Super Bowl, it's like we weren't the same team for a couple of seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and it's like I feel that the Chiefs are not over that loss against the Eagles, and it carried into this season where, like that AFC West, it's open. It's not a lock. It's become one of those divisions where it's pretty much a little bit more open than it was in seasons past. And by the way, the Chiefs still have to face Denver twice. They still got to face the Chargers once more. And the Raiders are kind of a wild card team. You're going to get it from them as well. So it's, this division is not the path, to the playoffs for the Chiefs. They might have to look at it kind of like as a wild card, and maybe not as a division winner. And that's a rarity thing to say, especially over the last decade. It's been rare to kind of put it that way under Andy Reid. So, but all in all, I think the Chargers have something. Despite their injuries, they found a way to win, and that's what good teams do. And despite how you feel about Jim Harbaugh, the person, Jim Harbaugh, the coach, had a plan, and it came through. Him and Greg Roman had a great offensive game plan, and it came through.
I can't agree with you anymore. I mean, I felt like the Chargers had the game plan, and they stuck to it. Like that first half, and let's give credit. They drafted this kid from North Carolina. How they were executing on plays where last year those same plays they wouldn't be able to hit. Justin Herbert looked in control. That performance by the Kansas City offense made me feel like they were struggling to try to connect with anybody. I thought, or it's like this. I thought the veterans let them down. I thought, Hollywood Brown did not play well. And, I thought, Patrick Mahomes. The throw to Kelsey and the touchdown, that was good. It's just you're so used to Kansas City finding a way to win or the extra point. So, and then the Chargers came back. I really think I don't want to say Kansas City is in trouble because, this is the first game. But I think we're going to have – I think what you said, Kansas City might be fighting out for a wild card. I don't think they're going to be division winners this year. I think Denver and the Raiders and the Chargers will have something to say. Ron, what you got?
I'm with y'all. I mean, I think Denver, the Chargers, and the Raiders got something to say about Kansas City now. I mean, I look at them what they did in the offseason and what they did last year, and we seen the Chargers. Yes, this division rival, but they played them tough. They played them real tough. So, to be honest, I don't think. This is just my opinion. I don't think Kansas City will make it to the playoffs. I don't think they will make it to the playoffs this year. But it's just my opinion, though. KLC don't look like he looked like a shell of himself. I mean, he and Patrick Mahomes. How you gonna make your tight end wide open on a touchdown? It seems like since he got engaged, they had not been on the same page. But what do I know, though? Chelsea been in La La Land somewhere else. So
I will say I thought Kelsey played better than he did in the Super Bowl.
No.
I'm just being honest. I think he did. I think he played better in the Super Bowl because you couldn't even find him. So I just, like I said, man, I thought with everything going down, I was very impressed with Chargers coming out of that, and because because when you have that bugaboo, if you can't get past that hump, you got to give them some respect when they at least beat the team. Then, now we'll see how they go throughout the year. I like Herbert's chances, though, man. I mean, if they have that running game unlocked, watch out. I really like their chances. Gonna talk about real now this Sunday because we're finally gonna have some football. The Atlanta Falcons are finally gonna play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, last year we were 2-0. We know that. Here's the problem. And a guy that has 3 starts in the NFL had no snaps in the preseason. So, we're going to have deja vu, or are we going to be in for a roller coaster? We're going to talk about the game. What are y'all's thoughts? We'll start with Ron, then Ladarius, and then I'll come around. So go ahead, Ron.
To me, we better start real fast. If we don't, it's gonna look like that Pittsburgh game again last year. We better start real fast. And if we don't, Raheem, you're on the hot seat, player. You and your tight pants. So you better get it together. So, but that's what I got for you.
All right. Ladarius, tell us. Give us the good word.
Well, there'll be no tight pants in this conversation, but I'll leave that. I'll leave that to Ron's department. Got my tight pants on. Okay. The thing is, walking down the street in my tight pants. Hey, my tight pants.
Yeah, crazy.
Tight pants on. Okay, we're back. We're focused. I see you in the chat, Craig. Thank you, wise man, for showing. Listen, we know Ladarius has one tight end. Yes, I do pride myself in working out. I was working out watching the cock last, and with all the great, seeing John Cena on the cock, working out my tight, while I was working out on my tight end. It was, it's something, Thank you, Craig, for mentioning that, with the workout, it's a great workout method. Watching Clash of Pairs on the cock, seeing John Cena, put on a great show on that cock.
We did.
On the cock. It was international too, so great international crowd at the cock. Everyone's watching around the world on the cock, and so
they stood on the cock. They were like so excited to be there. It was a jam show.
Where did Ron go?
Ron, where you at, brother? You got to be here, man. We're talking Falcons.
Lord, that must.
Tight pants.
Hey, you said tight pants, and my wise man said tight end. So I'm not gonna say you open up the forbidden door here. So,
Lord,
this is very tight.
By the way, folks, you can also, despite you can't watch WWE on the cock anymore, the cock has great programming. The cock has a lot of great things going on. Like, don't leave the cock. Be loyal to the cock.
You can watch football games off the cock.
You're right, Craig. You guys are all over the cock. It is true. Very true.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead,
Craig. You can still watch NXT shows.
Yeah. You can watch NXT. You can watch NXT's next PLE.
You're not beating off the cock just yet.
Listen,
we can still be on the cock.
Listen, you can't be jerking around on the cock, like So you listen, WBC. We're not done. We're not jerking around here. You can still watch NXT on the cock. Like it may not be the good old, it might not be main roster PLE on the cock, but you can still enjoy great TV shows, great high action on the cock, passionate on the like. It's great stuff, and we can get Ron back in here. That'd be great. We can get Ron Thomas back in. It seems he's gone,
and everybody loves Black.
Listen, and you see a lot of diversity on the cock too. The cock does not discriminate when it comes to great stuff.
Yeah, you do.
So,
no.
Tight pants on.
I'm so glad NBC decided to come up with the app.
Like, listen, the NBC has been loyal to the cock, and so
yes, they have.
And when you're loyal to the cock, you get rewarded. Sometimes it may feel like it's in your face. Like, oh no, it's okay. You can still, clean yourself up a bit and still watch it on the cock. Like, compose yourself. You'll be okay. So anyway, now back to football. If we can get Ron Thomas back in the building, Ron Thomas to the mic. Thank you. I don't know what your problem was. You went away.
The screen. Ron Thomas.
Listen, it feels
people
like
want to see your face, Ron.
It's John. That's true. It does. It gets it. Listen, accidents happen. You listen. You get excited about the cock. You get excited.
Yeah.
So,
people got excited when Brock Lesnar came out.
Oh man, the cock exploded when that happened. Like the viewership.
Oh,
people were watching it like, oh my god, this many people shouldn't be watching this on the cock. Like it feels like invasion of privacy.
Lord,
you think about all the strangers that were together when they saw that.
Yeah, it's like imagine a group of. It's like the real world, but you can't find the real world on the cock. It's like Big Brother's not on the cock. So we can get Ron Thomas back in the building. That would be great. Ron Thomas reporting. Thank you, Ron. I don't know why you keep disappearing like that. It's not great for show morale. Now, but anyway, back to the Falcons. More cock talk later. Now, this game has all the makings of being a high a high scoring game. I think when you look at the X factor to me is with Baker Mayfield, it's going to be another new offensive coordinator. Not much is known about this offensive coordinator. How's this offense going to look? Because they're a little banged up on their end as well. So the key is, I think the two key matchups here is that it's this Falcons new look defense, and can we create pressure against that Bucs O line? How are we going to start seeing the pass rush to get into Baker's face and kind of disrupt what he wants to do? And for the Falcons offense, it's about what Zach Robinson has in the playbook, because I know there's been a lot of talk about, him not playing in the preseason. And I make the counterpoint is that, and it's not defending Raheem or anything in that capacity. It's like, we don't know what we saw, a training camp. And injuries could be a reason, but I can make the case that, listen, by that logic, Joe Burrow had no business playing in the preseason. Justin Herbert had no, these guys want to play at least a snap or a series, and they did. But I take it as, I think Zach Robinson has to have what's the playbook going to look like with Michael Penix under center? How open is the playbook is the question. Is that we know he has a great arm. We saw that in Washington. We saw glimmers of that in games last season. But understanding that he has Bijan, he has Drake. And if we can get some kind of emergence from Kyle Pitts, that'd be even better. But the key is, and you can't do an elephant in the room, is the offensive line. And how the protection holds up is very important. Because especially on his blind side, which would be his right side, is that side sustainable? Can they hold off that front seven of the Buccaneers, and Penix can make plays down the field? Because the receivers on this team have the capability of doing it. Even if you got Drake, maybe Mooney, his health, we don't know, but you have pieces on this team offensively where you can go, yeah, they can still make plays. Jesus, Craig, double pause, Craig. Double pause, Craig.
God. Yeah, we're not going to even show that one. Yeah, we're not.
We can't. We can't. We'll show this one. That's the cleaner of the two, and that's not saying much either. That's
yeah. Look, he's got big Penix energy, but we don't need to bring that out on the screen on that certain app.
Yeah, that feels like that belongs on another channel.
But he will be on that app.
Yeah, he'll be on that. He'll be, that quarterback for Atlanta will be on the cock at some point this season.
Yeah.
So
that might be on the after show channel.
Yeah, you might have to pay extra for that.
All right,
whatever you're paying now, double
it. All right. So my thoughts on this game. Oh, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was done. Yeah, no, I was done. I was done.
No,
you're the host. You're the host. I'm done.
No, because No. I apologize because the thing keeps interrupting me, so I don't know if someone's done with their point or not. So that's
you're good.
All right, I just want to make it clear because
we're done talking about
All right, so yeah,
we're done talking about the cock for now.
Yeah, look. This is put up or shut up for the Falcons because you did it again. You came out. It's like everyone's. I'm hearing about excitement for this team. And I get it for the defense, but my problem is I don't know what to expect from this offense. Penix has played 3 games. So technically, to me, this is his rookie year. Teams are going to, see those 3 games, see what he did good, what he didn't do good. And we're going to see if he can adjust, if he can adapt, and if he can make plays. Do I think he can? I do. I like his game. My problem is the knucklehead that's the head coach. And I will keep saying it. The lack of the preseason thing is just to me, a direct hit on the arrogance of Raheem Morris. And I don't know if we're really going to be that good. And I'd rather be honest about it versus lie about it versus saying, oh, hey, we got a chance. We could do this. We could do. Man, we've been saying that for the last couple of years. We got nothing. So my thing is this. You show up, if you win, guess what? We're not talking about the preseason. We'll let it slide. But if you lose, guess what you're going to hear? And let's see. Look, I think Bijan's going to be great. The injury to Caleb McGarity is concerning. And we will have to see what can happen. But my personal feeling is this. You're going to have to figure this out. And having Wilkinson at the right tackle, I'm not confident. If it's me, you're going to see a steady diet of Warner right next to whoever the right tackle is. You have to. You got to protect, because if you try to play and you try to think that guy's going to hold protection up, on Penix's blind side, I don't know what you're drinking. And also, yeah, we're starting 4 rookies. He made that clear. But the thing is, how much are we going to see them play? How are they going to be able to make plays? Are they going to be able to have time on the field? And, Ron said it best. There are guys on this team should not even be on this team. And I'm talking about mini IR, Trice and TA, the Grady All-Star Tag Team. So we're going to see. And that's why I kept telling people, don't tell me about Trice. Or you don't make a big trade to get Pierce. And last I checked, so I'm looking at this team, and also I don't want to hear about Kyle Pitts. I've seen articles saying he's going to be the X factor. He's going to look when a coach tells me Kyle Pitts is the Knicks are driving to the game. I have a problem with that. Not practicing, not snaps, driving to a game. If that's the case, me, Ron, and Ladarius could get on the football field and we can dominate because we talk together. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's my theory on the Falcons. Look, can we win our division? But I don't want to just say that because I'm looking at our head coach and I'm going, can this man coach out of a wet paper sack with a hole in it? So what are y'all's expectations? I'm not saying give me predictions, but I'm just saying expectations of this season. Ron, we'll start with you. Ladarius will follow up.
We will win this division, but we got to be on our P's and Q's this year. We got to hit the mark. We got to come in and red sharp this year. If we don't, tight pants, yeah, you might be burning. You might be fired this year. Though you got the talent. We got so much talent on the team. Now, go back to what C. Doug said. Can you put it together? So that's all I got for you.
All right. Well, Darius, what say you? What are your expectations for the Falcons?
I'll be brief. I expect double-digit win season. I expect to win the division, and really anything that comes after that is just bonus. I think that the expectation in the building has to be playoffs or bust, whether it's winning division or whether it's the wild card. It's just getting and winning winning the division or making the playoffs has to be key in the building, given the drought that we've had from the postseason perspective. So that's my expectation. I expect, offensively to look a little bit different, but in a good way, because with the dynamic that Michael Penix Jr. can add now with the full season, I expect the defense to look a little bit different, and the expectations should be high. It's like it should be high, given what we have as a roster. Now, I'm not saying we have the best roster in all the NFL, but we definitely have a playoff caliber roster, and so offensively, like I said, I expect to see some dynamic there. I expect the defense to be better, but all in all, I expect this to be a playoff team. It's a playoff or bust situation, I feel, for Atlanta and for that coaching staff and in the front office.
My expectations. The Falcons will do what the Falcons always do. They are going to play. They're going to, when we think we know what they're going to do, they're going to swerve off and make you go, the hell is going on here? The question is, can you win the games you're supposed to win? That's my question. I think that's my biggest question in every Falcons season. Are you going to show up and actually play the whole season? Or are you going to come in some games and think you got this? We're going to see. I think, and like you said, I think the talent is there. I think we can make noise. It's not that I don't think that. I think we can play with just about anybody. The question is clutch time. That moment of you've got to make the play or not make the play. You got to have that coach being ready to make the call. Do you or do you not? And also, do you give your team the best chance to win? So those are my thoughts on the Falcons. I think Tampa Bay, I can see this. I'm thinking this game's going to be a 50-50 game. Whoever's got the ball last wins. That's my prediction. I'm not trying to call a score. I'm not going to call whatever. I'm just saying the winner of this game is simply this. Who has the ball last? Because, guys, we got to, whether we like to or not, Baker Mayfield is the quarterback in this division. They won the division, and he knows what plays and everything. So, with his teammates, the guy just rallies the guys around him. So, I would like to see what happens. If Raheem, damn it, the cock, to do some behind-the-scenes stuff to go to coffee runs. I mean, look, he will not have a phone. They got Bill looking like a total sap now. He ain't working at the cock. Ladarius, you wrong. You wrong. All right. What games on the schedule for the rest of this week that you're looking forward to before we switch to wrestling? Ladarius, what say you? He's still laughing.
Sorry. This
No,
is a
you're good, brother.
Show.
Oh, man. You know me. I don't mind.
Yeah, excuse me. Yep. And we're back. Just a couple of games that interest me. Obviously, outside of the Tampa-Atlanta matchup, I'm very intrigued by Detroit and Green Bay. I think Detroit and Green Bay is interesting because I'm curious to see, because Detroit now they lost 2 coordinators, and so I'm curious to see how the offense and defense looks entering this game, because they still it's Jared Goff, they still have Jahmyr Gibbs, they still have David Montgomery, Amon-Ra St. Brown, they have Jamison Williams, they have one of the best offensive lines in football. I'm curious to see now with Green Bay, with Jordan Love, and we don't know if Michael will play or not, because I if he does, it won't be like a full slate. I don't believe, just given the recency of the trade, has learning the playbook and things of that nature. So that matchup kind of intrigues me. John mentioned San Francisco and Seattle. That's interesting to me from the pure perspective of, like, I want to see Seattle offense with Sam Darnold. And I want to see how the Niners defense look with Robert Saleh. I want to see, can we see that top 5 defense kind of emerge out there in the Bay Area, and they'll get a nice test there. They'll be like Buffalo and Baltimore. I think, I'll be previewing that game, the videos, that in Detroit and Green Bay as well. But like if I look at Buffalo and Baltimore, the last 2 MVPs going at it, this could very well potentially be a preview of the AFC Championship game. This could very much be a preview, or it could be a division round. I feel like these 2 teams will face each other again probably later at this point, December, January, and because I feel that these are the 2, like, probably, or you could argue maybe the 2 best teams in the AFC. So that matchup is intriguing. Lamar, Josh, you got the running back situation. Like, it feels even on paper. And then, like, Monday night, you have Minnesota and Chicago. Once again, another NFC North match. The NFC North, it feels just like the AFC West. It feels very open, because I don't think Detroit's gonna, look as dominant. I still think they're a great football team, but I'm curious to see how Ben Johnson, how Chicago looks against a very good Minnesota defense, and how the rookie and how JJ McCarthy, now the full season, missing last season due to injury, how is he going to play? It's a lot of intriguing matchups and storylines here, and so it's just a matter of, like, when Week 1 gives us fair share of excitement, I'm just curious to see what kind of shocking things is going to happen in Week 1 that we didn't see coming. But it's a solid slate of games, so I'm just curious for it all.
Awesome. Ron, what say you, brother?
I got to go with that Green Bay and Detroit. I want to see. Can Detroit really next man up when, like Lil Davis said, they lost their offense and defensive coordinator. Do people behind them, can they do the same thing or make the team even better? I want to see that. I want to see Green Bay. If Micah, however you pronounce his name,
badass.
Will he play the whole game, half, or what? I mean, they talked about he got to take a shot, and talked about his back really messed up or whatever. I want to see that. So, and like Lil Davis said, I want to see that Minnesota and Chicago, right?
Yeah,
Minnesota.
That's the Monday night game, yeah.
I want to see that. Can Caleb Williams really step up? Can he bring that Chicago team back to reality? I want to see it. I mean, they spent a lot of money in the offseason try to fix that offensive line and defensive line. So I want to see, was it us or is it Grady? Can Grady really turn that defensive line around? The last few years, Grady was not being Grady no more. So down here, in my opinion. So that's all.
Oh, I agree. All right. I think the games I'm looking at, I think like you guys, Green Bay versus the Lions. I'm looking at it from a standpoint of, okay, Green Bay. Last year, you were in a lot of the games against the Lions, but you couldn't win. Actually, there was a lot of games like that with Green Bay, like the top teams. So this is kind of their opportunity to show. Now, with Micah Parsons back, I'm not putting too much stock into the report about the back. Here's why. Dallas already was going to have a plan. I think Green Bay will have that plan of attack. I think that will come up. What's the ability can he play up to? The other question is on the other side of the football is back. Can he come back and actually have, a follow-up season? Coming off that injury, he was having a very good year before then. So I'm looking at him. I think the game with the Ravens and the Bills, the Sunday night game, will be very interesting to watch to see who's going to handle the pressure. Because here's the deal. If Kansas City is not that team, if they start faltering, then you know what the next question is. Who's next? Speech off either. But who's next? I know Ron has made comments about Lamar a lot. I know we've talked about, Josh Allen a lot.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be one of those tests for either one of those teams. So that's going to be something to watch out through this year. I don't really shaky. That did it. Vikings and Bears. Y'all talked about the Bears. I'm going to look at the Vikings. J.J. McCarthy. How does he command the offense? How do they come up and I don't want to say surprise folks, but can he connect with these receivers like the other quarterbacks have? So, and I think the Lions and Packers, we talked about that. I'm looking at the Lions. I think Dan Campbell's a damn good coach. I really do. The question I have is, who is going to be able to make the plays, and are these new coordinators going to be able to, enhance the team? You already know Aaron Glenn is with the Jets. Ben Johnson's with the Bears. So now this is another show. Let's see what they do. So I'm intrigued by that. Curiosity games. I want to see if the Commanders are legit. I think the Commanders will be, but you kind of want to see it. Can you do it 2 years in a row?
Right.
You came out of left field. We didn't. So there you go there. All right. Well, let's see. That's about it for the football. So we'll switch over to wrestling.
Yeah, I think you need to check the comments. Check the comments.
Lord, Herman.
Yes, I was. Give me a second. I didn't want to. Yep. I'm excited for Buffalo and Baltimore, two big B teams. Which team can handle the big stage when the eyes are on the cock? Especially with Chris Collinsworth. And sometimes that man needs to be muted. I'm sorry. I cannot stand that man.
Chris Collinsworth
does not deserve to be on the.
Wait a minute. All the time he need to be muted. That dude just get on my damn nuts.
I'll tell you what. I enjoyed listening to Rich Eisen and Kurt Warner. By the way, they really called a good game. I like listening to them calling the game for the Chargers, and we didn't have a Taylor Swift counter. So thank you, NFL. Or thank you, Taylor, for not going to Brazil with your fiance. Excellent question. Wise man. People get too nervous about eyes on the cock. Yeah, I agree with Ladarius there, man. Ladarius has been throwing some good points out there. So, talk about the cock. We had a massive show.
Wait. Ron. I hate to interject here. But it feels like somebody on this panel has a problem with comments I made. And I would just like to address it and say, I will not stop, cannot stop. All right, back to the show.
Okay. Won't stop, can't stop. All right. So, Ladarius, we watched.
You're the best, Ron. You're the best.
All right. Big news just hit about Wade Barrett. Ladarius, did you, by any chance, have you read exactly what's going on? Why is he getting pulled? Or is just the announcement he's getting pulled? What's going on?
No, it's going to be a shakeup because, as you know, Joe Tessitore does college football. So him doing a show, obviously, on Friday will kind of interfere with him calling the games on Saturday.
Yeah.
So he'll be moving to Monday, from what I've been told. Now, I don't know who I don't know who it's going to be. I don't know if it's going to be Corey or because it's still kind of like they didn't give a specific reasoning. I know they just pulled Wade Barrett off the road, essentially. And I don't know, I don't know if it has anything to do with the Nikki Bella comments. I doubt it, because I didn't feel he said anything like derogatory. I feel that he said during, I believe, the post show of Clash of Paris, which was on the cock. But the point is, Ron's a class act. He's a class act. Now. So no, to your point, I haven't. So I know they were talking about this, I believe, earlier this summer when college football started to roll around, that they're going to make a change because Tessitore does call games for ESPN, and having him do a Friday show for example, him calling, he would have to literally travel from Chicago all the way to the game, and usually he calls ACC. So I understand. It's just the pulling the Wade Barrett thing is very interesting, given that obviously I don't think McAfee's going to return, to be honest, because I felt, because now with college football in full swing, I don't think it makes that much sense. But pulling Wade Barrett is a choice. So I don't know if it's going to be Joe Tess. I don't know if it's going to be just Corey working both shows, or to be honest, doing all three shows, because he does all three. So I'm curious to see how they handle Corey. He's listen. That overtime chest gonna look good around Christmas time. I tell you that much. So like I say, so I think the better question for me is that I'm curious to see how does this impact Corey Graves on NXT. Because I know NXT, so I'm curious to see how that works out. I'm equally, obviously the whole Wade Barrett thing is, to me, it's shocking, because I think he's done a fantastic job when he was in replacing, McAfee. I think he did a great job, and he had chemistry with both. He had chemistry with both Cole and with Tess. So that, unless it's they have a plan, which I don't know, because like I said, they didn't really disclose anything, just that they were pulling Wade off the road. So it makes me question, are we going to see Corey Graves working triple, is he going to be working triple overtime? Because he was doing Raw and NXT. So the question, will he be doing Raw, NXT, and SmackDown? That's my question, is what happens to Corey Graves? And that to me is the bigger question, is he going to be doing all three shows? That's to me would be the question I would have, and hopefully we'll get some more clarity on it, maybe next week or somewhere down the road.
I'm not thrilled about Wade Barrett not being around. I don't like the timing of it. I really don't.
Yeah, that it shocks me. That like the timing does shock me. I'm sorry. Yeah, the shocking. Yeah.
No. You're good. You're good. Look, we're just conversating on this one because, the timing sucks. Because I thought Wade Barrett was a great commentator. I thought he was a shining light when, honestly, the commentary booth was getting lame. So I thought Wade did a great job. And if it's about Nikki, I'm furious. If it's just something else, I could deal with it.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to tell you right now, Nikki Bella, I got to bring this up. If you watch Cass at Perry, Nikki Bella should never work another PLE. She doesn't even need to work a dark match because she's going to miss the drop kick anyway. All I got to say is, people were trying to say, well, she wasn't that bad. She was bad, folks. And if she wants to play the comment that threw her, first of all, shut up. This is why I think when she came back, fans didn't erupt for her. Last night, when AJ Lee's music popped, skipping along to this woman's music. And I'm one of them. All right. Oh God. That and she has to pay child support. But anyway, maybe Nikki wasn't happy with Wade when he said cock. Look, man can stand on what he can say on the cock. If she got a problem with the cock, she needs to have a talk with him, face to face.
Listen,
it out.
You have to be firm on the cock and don't let go. That's exactly what happened.
Nobody wants a limp tape.
No one wants a tape that can't get to the finish line. Okay. All right. So, what are you laughing at, Ron? I'm being serious.
Pisses me off.
Yes. It's like this man,
but
this man,
and I'm
this
glad
man's
we can
on
joke
international.
around.
He's an international talking on the cock about Nikki Bella. And listen, he was firm. He was stiff on the cock. And listen, Wade Barrett's old school. He rode the cock, and he rode his beliefs on that cock until it was no longer. We do need video of skipping. Like Craig, you have the video of me on it, and I prefer you not release it, unless it's for legal reasons. I have to sign something.
Look, I don't care what anyone says. You could be the hardest man. You can have tattoos all over your body. You could be like the biggest badass. The moment AJ Lee's music hits, you skipping. I don't give a damn what people say.
Light it up.
As soon as you can light it up.
Come on, Ron. Ron, sing along. We're not talking about cock, Ron. Sing along. Light it up.
Yeah, we're talking about AJ Lee.
Hey, Ron, I got one thing to say to you, Ron. Light it up. Ron, be a team player. And just light it up.
And that was Deep Thoughts with Ron Thomas.
Ron, listen, in a way, Ron, I see you be lighting it up during the show. So in a way, you should be familiar with it. We see.
You do light it up. I mean, if anyone else lights something up,
if anybody understands the concept of light it up, Ron, I feel like it's right up your alley. Like for me and C-Dub, it's the cock. For you, it's lighting it up.
All right, so look.
But I like AJ Lee. I do.
Yeah.
I just think Wade Barrett got stale, in my opinion. You know, man, like every few years, you will see that bring somebody new to do that, call the matches and all that stuff, talk about the matches. I just think they just trying somebody else over there, in my opinion. And he might need time off.
Yeah, listen, after you be on the cock, you may need some time off. I agree.
Lord,
Light it up, light it up.
Lord,
all I said, Ron, is that hey, he may need a break. I mean, he was on the cock, and he was, listen, that takes a lot of energy out of you, like internationally too. And he's in Paris.
I mean, look,
on the cock, like, listen, that's international, and they have the metric system, so it's a little bit different over there. Like they drink wine for breakfast over there. All right, so it's a little confusing.
Yeah.
How do you say?
Not only that, you got to remember, le coq. But anyway, so look,
would you like a baguette to watch the cock?
I think that we'll keep an eye on it, and we'll talk about it more as we get more info. But I will say this. Someone asked, well, AJ Lee was the bigger star with that Diva era than Nikki. Why do you think she'll be better off than Nikki? And I'm going with the crowd. AJ Lee's been gone for 10 years, and she did more for women's wrestling than the Bellas did combined. I don't give a dang what anybody tells me. She made that Divas title mean something.
I wish the Bella twins, whoever, what's her name? The one that been trying to wrestle again.
You talking about Nikki Bella?
Yeah, she don't need to come back no more.
Nikki,
she don't need to come back no more. She need to go retire and stay retired.
No, yeah. I mean, if you watch that match with Becky Lynch, look, the old saying, give somebody chicken shit, they can make chicken salad. Becky Lynch had to give us a chicken salad sandwich that tastes like shit because Nikki couldn't get her shit together. That's what happened. I mean, and Wade Barrett on commentary wasn't being hurtful. He was being accurate because he has to call what he's Nikki like an idiot. Now, if he said, man, Nikki's beating the fuck out of the Invisible Woman, I don't know how Bacon's going to make it. Then I could believe it. Because she made more contact against Bacon than she did against Becky.
Mm-hmm.
So, to the night, Becky didn't need that. Becky had to come back to the main event to hit CM Punk in the cock. What a way to end it on the cock, too.
The cock on the cock action.
Staying firm on the cock. The cock.
The cock on cock action.
It's on the cock.
Now you Rogers laugh.
Wade Barrett staying firm on the cock. He finally laughed. No objection, wise man, because I'm proud of my work on the cock.
On the cock.
All right. So, look, for real. I thought take away the women's match. You had Roman Bronson. That was really good. You had the tag team title match. Punk or the Donnybrook match. Finally, we got Sheamus and Rusev in a foreign territory. They deserve that platform. And then we got Cena versus Logan Paul, which I don't know about you guys. I thought that was probably one of John Cena's best matches.
I just like to see,
and then
I like to see Logan Paul get here.
Was as fun.
I like to see Logan Paul get his ass whooped every week. I would love to see that. Get his ass whooped every week. He deserves that much.
Who did you want to see get his ass whooped?
Logan Paul get his ass whooped every week.
I would dare say I thought Logan Paul had a hell of a match. I can't shit on Logan Paul.
I just cannot stand him. Whatsoever.
No. I'm with you. I'm not a big Logan Paul fan. But you got to give the man some credit. He put on a show with John Cena. He really did. That match was one of, yeah. So, Ladarius, what say you? What was like, what were your takeaways from Clash of Paris on Le Coq?
Ladarius.
Ron, why are you so upset? Are we talking about the Clash of Paris on the Coq? I don't understand your how do you say your country? Your anger? Listen,
your angst,
your angst, your anger, your disappointment. Listen, you have to do what I do 6 days out of the week. A glass of wine, a baguette, and I just put my feet up and I just watch the Coq. And that's how I feel you need to do as well. You can watch NXT on the Coq if you enjoy yourself. Listen, the Coq may have other programming that might turn you on to watch on the Coq. So, depending what your kicks. And you're right, Craig. He does have a high level of Coq aversion today. Agree. Merci. Merci, wise man, for your comments. We'll be sending you out a baguette full of blue pills to your home soon. Thank you. Baguette blue pills. Grab them while you can, while supplies last. Because the FDA said we can. But, give me a second. Give me a second. Let Dennis come back and do the show. Thanks. Thanks, Pierre. You did great. All anything for you. Thank you. I got the one in the back. Can we get that? How about a water? You stupid bastard. We drink a wine.
We might need Pierre to come back because Pierre has some real good.
Yeah. Oh, you want Pierre back? Give me just a second. Pierre, what the hell do you want? You want me back on this show? Okay, I'm back. And then he went out and said he went to go.
Yeah, what did you think of AJ Styles'
Let me tell you.
We need Pierre to give us his thoughts on the AJ Styles entrance.
Let me tell you. Styles on the Coq. Style points on the Coq. I don't know how you go about saying it in your country. But listen, what really upsets me about that match is that El Grande Americano, it sounds like a coffee I would order in the morning. Can I get the El Grande Americano, which I guess means American El Grande? I'm like, so I don't know. So and then we have questions from the conversation. Ask Pierre what he thinks of the Coq. Let me tell you something, Jean. The Coq is great for all your needs. No diversity. It does not discriminate. People can show up on the Coq at any time. You have to be prepared. They have a guide, so they show you who's going to be on the Coq. It helps you prepare yourself accordingly. So thank you, Jean, for your question. Now back to the Styles match. This El Grande Americano, listen, we call him in France? We call him a le traiteur, which is French for le traiteur. So he shows up on our programming and attacks this. He helps this Dominic Mysterio, who, how can I say, he's kind of a ladies' man. He reminds me of myself in my youth. The ladies. It's like, listen, my baguette was really, really hard watching that. But anyway, back to the match. It was great. I just feel that someday, I would have liked to see Styles get the gold on the Coq and ride off. It would have been a great story. But listen, the card was great. How do you say that? Nikki Bella? Let me tell you something. She can stay away from the Coq from now on. Like nobody. Like I don't know who she was fighting. Listen, they say the French. don't like to fight? Apparently, so does Nikki Bella, because she was fighting somebody who was not there. The last time I saw somebody fight somebody who was invisible is the episode of, how do you say it in your country? The Scooby-Doo and the cartoon with the ghost and the fighting. So I don't know, was I watching the Clash of the Pennies on the Cock or the El Scooby-Doo? Where are you on the cock? So all in all, great stuff on the cock. Roman Reigns on the cock. It was just, listen, everybody on the cock was great. And listen, whatever Wade Barrett said about Nikki Bella on the cock, listen, he's European. He's like me. He lives in a different country. But us Europeans, we know how to handle situations. And he did a great job there on the cock about handling about Nikki Bella. I would like to see him back on the television. But hey, the European thing, listen, I was proud of Rusev. By the way, his wife, not European, but she has European features. But all in all, it was a great match. There's Donnybrook. I got the Donnybrook once. And the guy's name was Jerry. So I did not. So I left. I'm looking for a guy named Donnybrook, and he left. But the point is, it's a great show on the cock. And I got to go. I think later, your food's here. I got to go. I have spaghetti and meatballs with a bottle of wine. So I got to go. And by the way, the wine is delicious. I had to go to, how do you say, fly it in? Yeah. And I think the cock something is the wine. So later tonight, some lady out there will enjoy some wine and some cock. I do not know which in order, but hopefully it's the other way around, if you know what I mean. The French humor. It's like this. Let me tell you, we're not all about them. We're not about mimes and Madeline over here. We like to get it done. I will climb the Eiffel Tower for her. No, I'm just Clinton. Hopefully she'll climb the Eiffel Tower, if you know what I mean. All right, let me go grab him. The Dennis come back to the show. Sorry about that, guys. Was Pierre okay? He was good. Was Pierre all right?
Yeah. You know what? Yeah, Pierre was good. I think Ron is on a roll of he was going to ignore him, but I mean, look, I think Pierre was a very good guy. I like him.
Yeah, I think Ron. I think Pierre told me. Yeah, Pierre told me to tell Ron, you got to. How did he say? In his accent, he said to loosen up a bit about the cock. I think is what he said. Those are his words, not mine.
Yeah.
He says you got to put yourself out there when we talk about the cock. That's what he told me. That's just a loose interpretation of how he talks.
What was your takeaway?
Oh, talking about me now.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I thought Pierre did great. I know Ron loves Pierre, and he's a huge fan. He might show up more during the season if things go right. Because listen, I would invite Cosby, but we all know why we can't invite Cosby back on the show.
He might.
I think we all know why.
I mean, I think we could. I don't have a problem. I'm just saying.
Oh, hang on. I got to take this. Hang on just a second. Hang on.
You know what?
Hello? Did somebody call the car to talk about the wrestling? Hello?
Oh,
who the hell is calling my phone at 2:33 in the afternoon? Hey, how you doing? To see double to the double, ribble, dibble, skibble, scar bizzle. And Ron, the man, the playing the baby powder king. How are you doing, sir?
We hanging and banging. You know how it goes.
You see, if it's okay, Ladar said he let me share. He told me his thoughts on. You asked about the show or whatever you were talking about. We're talking about the Clash.
We're talking about the Clash of the Castle. Yes. We're in Paris on the cock.
I went to Paris once as a young man back in the 70s. It was a different time. You see, you got on the airplane. You didn't have to show your passport. I said, hey, I'm the cause. I'm the man. And they gave me first class tickets. And then that's fun fact. That's how I got about the pudding. And Craig, I told you not to eat the pudding if you get tired. I didn't add anything in it too, but extra sugar. So that sugar turns into powder, and you see, you fall asleep. You go Betty by, and oh no, you better lock your door. So anyway, anytime, Craig, you want more Funny Pops, we're gonna bring them back because it seems in this country anything goes at this point. So the cause is back. We're back. So anyway. Wait, hang on. You want to come back at the show? Yeah, I'll take over Cause. Thanks. Sorry about that. Cause had to go. He had to get some pudding pops and medicine. Like I don't understand how that mixes together. But
yeah,
he said something about butterscotch and NyQuil. He said green gelatin and NyQuil. I never understood it. Every time I eat it, I have to eat it and lock my door because something weird happened. But we can't get into that. The point is, it's great to see Ron It's great to see Ron. Ron, how are you, man? You're doing great. I heard Pierre and the Cause. They're trying to support you, and you said nothing. You offended France and America all at once. Not the first time in history that's happened.
So much trouble today right now with the
wouldn't be the first time that's happened in our history.
It's all good.
But I felt all in all about. But anyway, the point is. I think all in all about Clash at the Castle, I think it, like I said, if you take away the Nikki Bella match, because we have to be honest with ourselves. I think you alluded to something, C-Double, is like I think with Nikki Bella, it's to the situation where it's like we have to understand what made and it's funny that AJ Lee shows back up because I think what made AJ Lee popular that she was the anti-diva in the Divas era.
Yes.
I think that was the allure of AJ Lee is that she was nothing like the Divas. She was nothing like the Bella. She was nothing really like Natalya or Alicia Fox or Michelle. She was nothing like them, and that's what I believe made her popular. And I think we talked about this on the show. I think earlier this year, maybe last year, we did. Is that we talked about how WWE perceives the Divas era. And that, they credit the Bellas for paving the way. But I argue that it was AJ Lee. Yeah. And you see AJ Lee's work. Like, think about this. I didn't mean to go on this side tangent, but I think it's important to put it in perspective is that when I look at Roxanne Perez's character, I look at AJ Lee.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
When we saw, like, Alexa Bliss's character, that reminded me a little bit of AJ Lee.
Yeah.
AJ Lee's fingerprints are more on this generation's women's division than Nikki Bella or Brie Bella. And no disrespect to their work, but it's like I hate when people frame it and like, oh, well, Nikki Bella. I'm like, I tell people this: if you can name one significant thing, and I'm not trying to disrespect Nikki or the Bella. I'm not trying to. My thing is that when you look at the business, when people talk about the women's revolution, who comes up more amongst wrestling fans, AJ Lee or Nikki Bella?
AJ.
AJ Lee. AJ.
But
go ahead.
If you want to go all the way back, I would say China first.
Yeah. If we go further, if we go beyond it, because I argue that Beth Phoenix was kind of the anti, and because of China. Right. Like I argue that there's been women who paved the way for other women, and because they parallel, because you can like here's the thing, and C-Dub can attest to this. We've seen like Ric Flair's character was based on Gorgeous George. Like it was like he just didn't make that up.
Right.
Like guys like Gorgeous George, Superstar Billy, like they were characters. We don't talk about it much, but you see them. But you saw their impact on the wrestling business, on character. And because, like, fun fact, like Dusty Rhodes' character was kind of based on a black wrestler. And it's not. I'm not trying to make it a race thing. It's the fact that I say that because influence, how impacted influence is not made equal. And that ties me back to Clash of Paris. What we saw from Nikki Bella got exposed because she probably and like listen, what Wade Barrett said was on point. She was essentially living on her time back as a diva. She rested on her laurels as a diva, and no one's not. And it took a lot of it took time for people to get rid of this notion about divas because of the Bella twins, because of the fact that because think about this. Up to a certain point, we were still having certain types of matches with women, and we ain't talking no one-on-one singles matches either.
Mm-hmm.
It took a whole generation of women to say, "Hey, these women can really wrestle." But in the minds of others, like the Bellas, sure, Nikki, longest reign, whatever, however. But it goes back to that to me, that like the Clash of the Castle card was great, but watching Nikki Bella, that's what stands out to me as the worst match. Because it's like there's no excuse. Like you should have been ready. You should have been ready for that match. And I don't want to ever hear people ever criticize Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair WrestleMania match. I don't want to hear that ever again. I don't want to hear it. Because while that match wasn't great, it was more watchable than it's essentially like Becky Lynch had to be the point guard. She had to play all 5 positions on the basketball court.
Yeah.
She had to carry the match. And then it into the return. I'm sorry, go ahead, Ron.
Tiffany and Jade did not have their gaps.
No, you right. I with you, Ladarius, on all that. I think the WWE just push whoever that don't deserve to be pushed.
I think it's that I agree, but to me it goes. I'll take it a step further because you're right. I'll take it a step further. I'll say that WWE, like Ronda Rousey was interviewed, and she said that she had a problem facing Alexa Bliss because the only reason why they had her face Alexa Bliss because at that time Alexa Bliss was leading in merchandise sales. And this is where I say it's a business. Like, and that's where pushing and booking comes in. It's like this. AJ Lee's return, her impact, and I don't know if C-Dub will agree. I feel that her popularity now matches Rhea Ripley's popularity.
Yeah.
Because before then, because as great as Io Sky is, as great as even Becky Lynch, you can put in the conversation, but she's on a different level. She's on a different level, Becky is. But when we're talking about like likability, we'll put it that way, as a face.
What?
It's AJ Lee and it's Rhea Ripley.
What?
Because up to pre AJ Lee, I could argue the top face in the entire company in terms of female stars was Rhea Ripley. Even as great as Io is, it was Rhea Ripley because anytime her music hits, the crowd is instantly, it pops.
Right.
And we saw that with AJ Lee. But if you listen to certain people out in the IWC, see, they'll cut off the part where the pop came and say, "Oh, AJ Lee was nothing." Well, yeah, you jag off. You cut off about 30 seconds of her entrance when the crowd was popping. You cut that out to make your narrative. And at the end of the day, and like Craig, I meant to hijack the show, C-Double. I apologize. All right, I'll hand you the keys back in a minute. I'm sorry. I was supposed to go for ice cream, and I went for steak. I apologize. But and it's like at the end of the day, like Craig said,
totally fine. Yeah, I think
Craig,
you're hitting the great point.
Like Craig said, it is a business, but they also have to want you to succeed. You can get completely over, and so and that's the point where I don't, because at that time, I believe Alexa Bliss was over, which is why she was leading in merch. And Ronda Rousey couldn't understand why would you have her face, because Ronda, they're trying to help you get over because Alexa Bliss is over. They try to rub it off.
But
to me, like the biggest, like one of the biggest misses that doesn't get talked about is Damian Sandow, because Damian Sandow was over as everything, and yet they were like, "Nah, we're good." It's like at the end of the day, yet to your point, Craig, you can sell all kinds of merch, But that should be like Karrion Kross is a recent example of the crowd is over on you and you give them nothing. And what I was told was that the crowd has an influence. And they can still ignore you. But the reality is, specifically, the fans aren't going to ignore. The fans aren't going to ignore. It's the people that matter. It's the Triple H's. It's the bookers that matter. And circling right back to AJ Lee. AJ Lee, there's a world of possibility of matches. Like we're gonna get Seth and Becky versus CM Punk and AJ Lee. That's not a question. But imagine this: Becky Lynch versus AJ Lee for the Intercontinental Championship. Like I could argue that's a main event worthy match on a PLE. But AJ Lee can fight Roxanne Perez. Like the possibilities are endless. But so I'm just saying that there's more than merch in being that
mother daughter.
Yeah. I wasn't trying to argue with you, Craig. I apologize. Sometimes it may come up, but no. I see what you're saying, Craig. Is that's the point? Is that it's more than merch and being like that's a huge part, but the company is that it's politics. But at the end of the day, like with Sandow, they made a choice. It's like people got mad with Jey Uso. Oh, it's politics. It's like getting like at some point, the crowd matters. The crowd should know what they want to see because we as fans aren't stupid. Just like as much as we like there's a point in time where people were booing Roman Reigns. Not even 2 years ago, and now all of a sudden, my guy is getting the biggest pops in the world, and that just goes to show you how booking, how politics, and how things work. And as far as Karrion Kross goes, I want Karrion Kross to succeed wherever he does because he showed up at I can't think of the name of the promotion. Was it MLW? I can't remember off the top of my head, but. The crowd lost it. So for WWE, you don't have WWE is not the gateway to success like it used to be because there's competition. It's like any other business where if there's a McDonald's down your street, there's going to be a Burger King somewhere down your street at some point too. If there's a KFC, there's going to be a Popeye somewhere down the road. Competition is there, and so opportunity here's a great example. Chelsea Green is a great example. Naomi was a great example. Naomi left and went to TNA, became a Knockouts champion, came back, got over, and finally found her bread and butter as a character. And I'm happy for her and Jimmy because it was listen, she accomplished, and when she comes back in 2 years or so. She's going to be to the moon because fans aren't going to forget that she found the success outside of WWE and you follow. It's not like it was 15, 20 years ago where you're coming from a different brand and people because there's different wrestling promotions now in terms of television and visibility. The visibility wasn't there 15, 20 years ago. It is now. And it's my point about AJ Lee. Is about her popularity. She was still popular than ever. She was online. She was on Glow, Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling. She does comic books. She was at Comic-Con. She was still out there. She was visible. And that to me makes a difference. And it ties back to Nikki Bella. We understand what Nikki Bella went through, but when it comes to the wrestling,
what did she went through?
Stuff.
To me, I don't. I'm not. Fuck it. I don't think she got it. I don't think she never had it. I just think she looked good, and they pushed her to where she at now. In my opinion.
Yeah, that's fair because
you know what I'm saying. I don't think she never really had it in the ring till you say, "Oh, she the shit." She got it. I just think the way she looked got the push to you know what I mean? I'm not trying to be that guy, but fuck it. I don't need that guy.
You're on point, Ron, because that used to be the narrative.
Right.
Like, you're absolutely right. It was like your looks, how you look matter. It's no different. Like Vince did it with the Miz. He did like Vince. It was never believed, and C-Dub can correct me. Vince was not convinced about. Well, that rhymed. I didn't know that. Was not convinced that Rey Mysterio could be a world champion because of his size.
Yeah. Right.
Not because he wasn't talented.
Right.
Because the man showed you up to that point was at WCW. Like, he showed you that he could be world champion, but he didn't look it. Right. And that was it. Like Hulk Hogan, that was Hulk Hogan's stature made it believe that
he
looked like a world champion.
Right. And that's my point. I don't want to see Nikki Bella in the ring just because she looked good. No. You got other great talents behind that sheet or behind the wall that to put on a better match than Nikki Bella. Don't nobody want to see that bullshit.
Yeah. And
bullshit.
It was. Yeah, and the first person who will tell you that is maybe Nikki Bella, but like Craig makes the point. Like, it's the politics. At the end of the day, that is what matters. Like, does the company that writes the checks want you in a big spot?
But that's the problem. I've been telling this to C-Dub for a long time. That the problem with WWE. You pushing people that don't have it instead of pushing people that do have it. Stop pushing these motherfuckers like Nikki Bella. She should never came back. Whoever told her, you should come back, you should get fired right now.
And the thing is, and it goes to Craig's point, WWE wanted her back. Maybe not the fans, because me and C-Dub were laughing when at the Royal Rumble when she was number 30. And the crowd did absolutely nothing. It's like Jordan Grace. Everybody else got a pop, but her. It's why TNA. Like, think about this. Like, I took issue with, like, I love TNA. I watch TNA. But they brought back Tessa Blanchard. Because while ignoring, not say they're ignoring, but not acknowledging what she did,
right,
in terms of race, because that's what TNA wanted, because they're cutting the check. Right. It's no different. It's no different than it's like this. Like, to bring it to a football scope, think about Deshaun Watson. How many teams wanted Deshaun Watson? Despite the accusations, like our own franchise, wanted Deshaun Watson, and that in turn caused to make Matt Ryan feel a certain type of way, which he had every right to feel a certain type of way.
Right.
And despite of the circus that Deshaun Watson had with him, the baggage, we were still in pursuit. But now Cleveland is facing that situation now. That's why Joe Flacco is starting week 1. They literally had to bring back a guy who's pushing 40 to come be their starting quarterback. Why? Because they cut a check to Deshaun. They based it on what he did previously with the Texans. They ignored, we think he can be the guy he was at that time 2 years ago, because he was a Pro Bowler.
Right.
Because they cut the check.
Oh,
and they cut the check. They ignored the politics of it. At the end of the day, is who's writing the checks? The owner. Like, it doesn't matter, like, whether it's wrestling, whether it's sports, whether it's like any job we've ever held in our lives. Is that I guarantee we've worked with someone or we've dealt with someone that we thought were cheeks. We didn't like them.
Right.
But you know who did like them? Your boss liked them. The person who cuts the checks liked them. So you either had to essentially deal with it or turn in your resignation.
Right.
And Craig, no issue on the. I love Joe Flacco. We're wacko for Flacco here. Absolutely. And see, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go back to. I don't want wrestlers to get to where they at because they just look good.
No, that's that
or who they dating in that company.
Hold on. Yeah, hold on. Let me say something on that, please.
Yeah.
And again, this is it's 2:50. It's 5 minutes to the top of the hour. This is the CLR show, and we'll be right back with C Double. He's cutting off my commercial. And then C Double will take over the rest of the hour. And coming up after C Double, we'll have the music of Earth, Wind, and Fire and Lionel Richie. Cool 93.4.
Ooh, I love it.
The hottest hits and the home of the CLR podcast.
Yes, we're going to start the CLR Lounge. All right. Ron, you're saying a lot of good things, but here's the thing. Remember who was in charge of WWE?
Vince McMahon. What?
Scooby-Doo. Oh, Vince McMahon, yes.
Yeah.
Roll Raggy.
And he didn't think much of the women. He didn't. Everyone just they did the women's evolution despite now. Nikki Bella coming into WWE now is a joke because back then the women competition was not up to snuff.
Right.
There were women in there, like you said, looks, but that's about it.
Right.
Some worked hard, built them. But AJ Lee, being the anti-diva, being the one that stood up against a lot of it.
Right.
And she was successful. She left on her terms.
Right. I'm not.
No. What I'm saying is, but these women or men or whatever, you got to remember who was pushing them at the time.
Right.
And then look at who's pushing them now. Now, I think Nikki would have been fine if she performed better. She did.
Right.
And my problem. Go ahead.
To me, my problem is push the wrestlers that need to be pushed. Don't bring in somebody that you know never been good. That's my problem. Don't bring in a female wrestler, in my opinion. She never been good. I think she got to where she at, who she was with.
Well, trust me, she gets burned all the time about who she was with now.
Right.
So, go ahead, Ladarius.
So, it's like I tired seeing female coming in, and you know you ain't shit, but nobody won't tell them, hey, you never been shit. You got to where you at from this person, by dating this person, or marrying this person. Tell her the truth, you ain't shit. You're not no good wrestler. That's all I'm trying to say.
Ron. People get signed. No, I know. They get signed for whatever reasons. Like, look, I don't think she should have been signed. Okay? They signed her. Why? I don't know. And she got exposed. That is what happened. Now, AJ Lee, on the other hand, I know has been working with CM Punk. I know she's been doing her game. And the women that we're talking about that haven't had their chance, they are now having their chances. They also, hold on, but some of them also have that moment where you go, are you going to step up or step to the side? So go ahead, Ladarius, because I know he was trying to raise his hand too, so I apologize.
Oh, I was going to tell you, go to Twitter. Go to Twitter. You'll have a DM. Just look at the.
Okay.
Anyway, and you'll just check the DM. We were added to a group.
And Wade Barrett's comments here too.
Oh my God, that's.
Okay, coming to it now. Give me a minute. Damn!
I gotta see this.
Oh man, that's the greatest thing.
Oh, you do. God damn it! I hate my. Hold on, I'm gonna do something.
Hey, I think I can share. I can
Send it to me.
Yeah, I'll put it in the group chat in our. Okay. Save image.
That all I just was trying to say. Stop. To me, if you dating a wrestler or if you married to one, you don't need, and you're not that good. Somebody need to tell them, "Hey, I'm not doing something you ask."
There we
Stop
go.
it.
All right, but here's the problem. Those people are in the situation they're in. And first of all, John Cena dumped her. So let's just throw that out there. So, and thank God he's got better taste because the woman he's with is a lot hotter than that one. All right, and probably can make more contact. The other thing, she has had her own issues. And all I'm saying is this. She was able to survive the era she was in because the talent pool wasn't that great. But putting her in now, that's like telling, a 50-year-old Brett Favre to come out there and throw the football against the pass rushers now.
Mm.
It ain't going to go well. And that's what's going on here. She is out of her league. And look, this conversation really doesn't need to be had because we don't know what's going to happen. I guarantee you they're going to have to try to find ways of hiding her because of how bad she was. And if she keeps running her mouth, too. That's another thing that you got to remember.
Rip up that contract. Hey.
Look, they'll rip up whatever. I don't care. That ain't my ball. That ain't my problem. Best damn picture ever.
It's just like, imagine that's how I lead people in the battle.
We're waiting for Ron to. Oh, you should lead people to battle. This is like this may be the new cover picture for the group.
Look at that.
It's majestic.
Lord,
men, countrymen, countrywomen, come.
But
we will
follow me. We will rock. We fight for freedom. Right on the cock.
I just didn't try.
Right that cock to freedom.
You got so much talent that you're not pushing, and you got Nikki Bella of all people,
but
all females. She don't even know if she coming or going.
Here's what I was. Yeah.
She was like,
go ahead.
But here's what I'm going to say.
I'm like, what the fuck you doing?
If you get exposed, look, if you get it, that's what I'm saying. If she got exposed, there's no way around it. On a PLE, they will find a way to turn it around, and basically they're going to have to ignore it because this isn't the 90s, this isn't the 2000s, this isn't 2010. Fans don't give a crap what you did in the past, especially the Bellas, because they didn't do anything. They took advantage of the situation. That's all.
Right. I better say Mae Young. Then watch Nikki Bella.
Mae Young was stiffer than the Bellas altogether, and the cock. But what's up, Christy? What's up? Rise up. Yeah.
Hey, Christy.
We had our little preview about the Falcons earlier. Check out.
Yeah, I prefer Christy. The whole Mark Henry and Sammy situation myself.
Oh, shit.
See them no.
It was very handy. You know, you could always put a finger on it.
I think in that case, where Henry should have just kept his hands to himself.
We're gonna roll out. So here's the thing.
I'm sorry. I was just singing Selena Gomez out loud.
We'll go in more detail about SmackDown on the Wrestling Review Show when we talk Raw also. All I got to say is this. SmackDown was a lot more fun, and I have to say, please bring in more Raw content because SmackDown was enjoyable last night. From Punk and Seth. By the way, love the fact they used an overhead shot with Seth in the booth. That was freaking classic. It reminded me of him at Triple H and Shawn Michaels.
Yeah. Where should we put him?
All right, see, I knew it once I said it. You remember. But, yeah. And then Becky. Look, you can say what you want about Becky Lynch. This woman, we're finally getting what heel Becky's about. And I love the fact that her and Seth are being heels together. This is what you had. Not them together when they were faces because they just were too damn annoying and being forced.
Yeah.
Putting them in a natural position where they could just be tyrants. Awesome. Music hit. Just watch it. You'll enjoy it. It's great. Cena versus Sammy. I enjoyed the match, but Sammy's getting a little Sammy Hogan lately.
Yeah, we got to have a conversation.
And I know there's huh?
No, I was saying that. No, I'm sorry. I mean to cut you off. I took enough of the show as is. Light it up. But anyway. Catch me outside. Light it up. But no, we got to have a conversation about Sammy, and no one's gonna like. It's not popular, but see, it's like he went from the underdog. It just feels like now his promos now are just like there's no issue with the in-ring stuff. It's just like the mic stuff.
No,
and it's like, all I'm saying is that we need to have a conversation. That's all.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
And I think we will. I want to have that conversation because now we're going to do U.S. title open challenge, which, look, I have no problem in seeing that. I think it's certain champions should do that. Not every champion.
Right.
Correct.
You know, like there would have been no reason for Solo Sikoa to do it. There's no reason for Jacob Fatu to go, I mean, you know.
Right.
What did he say? I mean, that doesn't matter. It sounds cool.
I'm scared. I'm scared, Daddy.
I'm scared, Daddy. We're gonna run the show, Daddy. Hit my music, Daddy.
So
good times.
Look, the best thing I can say is this: I thought SmackDown did good. I want to see, and I like the Priest and Aleister Black match. And yeah, anytime Chelsea's on my TV, I now start asking a team no matter what. Them and with the Secret Harvest too. But my God, they have been cracking me up the whole time. I mean, especially after Piper had that revealing. Tiffany Stratton versus Jade Cargill next week for the women's title. Go get her, Tiffany. I love you. And Ron just stepped out. All right. And then let's see. I'm trying to remember. They said Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre, right?
I think.
I thought I saw that. I thought I saw how
I thought I did too.
Like
I don't think you're wrong. I think
So there's that, and then we're going to hear from Brock Lesnar, which it's going to be interesting. I wonder if Sammy's going to interrupt Brock. I challenge you to a U.S. title match. Don't do it, Sammy. Don't do it, Sammy.
Hey, Sammy, come here. The hell are you doing? I need revenge. What?
Hold on. That's where Jimmy and Jay need to be there and just go.
Right.
What's wrong with you?
It's like, who do you think you are, Ingo Montoya? What are you doing with revenge? What's the matter with you? Just like, did you even watch that much? Like you're not Ingo Montoya. Like he could ask for revenge. You no.
Jimmy needs to look at him and go, just shake it off.
Yeah. Because listen, you stayed out too late.
Woo, 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 woo. And
there's and clearly, Sammy, there's nothing in your brain. That's what people say, Sammy. That's what people say. Hey. You need to just shake it off. Shake it off.
Yeah.
That's spoken word for Taylor Swift. That's the news.
Yeah.
We'll see.
All right. Quick thing, real quick. Because we're talking about the Usos. Are we going to see the Usos come back together?
Yes. I think because here's why. Have you seen the
I've
tag
been pushing
team
for Penta and Phoenix, but it looks like it's going to be
Usos.
What do you think?
Listen, like at this point, we just get what we get.
Raw sucks.
like I was talking to my cousin, and I said, like they were talking about like the Street Profits on SmackDown, like breaking up. See, I don't have a problem with that because look, the SmackDown, the SmackDown tag team because the SmackDown tag team division is so deep, it's okay. Here's the thing. Here's the most obvious one, and I can't believe it hasn't been done. Make Braun and Bronson a tag team. Like, what are they doing? That if you want to put
I think they are trying to.
You know, I want to believe you. See that? I want to believe you. I really do.
Yeah,
but it's right there. Bring back like Phoenix and Penta make too much sense. It makes way too much sense not to have that. That to me is like, oh, when they brought in Ray Phoenix, I'm like, oh, at some point they're gonna make him a tag team, and it's like, so to me, I was willing to play the long game with that. You know, whatever they did with Ray Phoenix, and it's like, okay, now we can stop, dealing, we can stop messing around here. Make them a tag team. Your division needs help. Make it happen. And I'm to the level where, and like to me, I could argue the women's division is not looking bad. And this is why I say when you have women, like you keep like when you're building around the women's division, like NXT, like they have 3 more tag teams. I argue this. Name 3 tag teams on the main rosters combined. In terms of women's, like it feels like either you can, like obviously there's Roxanne and Raquel, and you have obviously Charlotte, Alexa Bliss. You could do like anything with the Secret Harvest. Like you can do anything with that, like with Piper and Alba. So they have the same amount, and that's between 2 brands. It's like the tag team division on Raw. It's become to the point where you could hide it. You know why you could hide it? Because every other aspect of your divisions, like the women's single, like the women's division was fine in terms of like your like like right now, it's kind of like this, like the Becky Lynch, AJ Lee stuff. It might transcend both Raw and SmackDown. So you're covered there. We still have Bayley and Lyra. There's still something there. It's like, but your tag team division, it's like this. You sweep it under the rug until your rug becomes taller than your table. Like when your rug becomes higher than your living room table, that's a problem because you can't like, oh, what's that big lump over there? Oh yeah, we're trying to hide that. We're trying to hide that men's tag team division. We don't want nobody to know it's there.
We're trying to hide Otis and Kazawa.
Yeah, it's like, oh wait, I can see Otis, but where's Tozawa? Oh no, oh god, I forgot to. I need to grab those keys. Excuse me. Damn it! I got the wrong key fob. Give me the other one.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, you're right. I mean, look. We're not. It's like there are too many people. Like Ron was talking about, there's so many people that deserve shots, but also there's so many people that can actually be worked in a way that makes sense. Like, here's something. So Penta is by himself, basically facing the New Day with Waller. So instead of having him team with really bad tag teams, sorry, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Forcing him to team up with the War Raiders that have no story with this, even though they've had a feud with the New Day. I get it. Why not bring him, come out and go, I brought out family. And it would be Penta, Phoenix, and Andrade. Makes more sense. And they're not facing other luchadors. They're actually facing the New Day. You know, that would actually make more of sense than just picking a tag team because we have a tag team, even though we haven't used them. You put the War Raiders against Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker.
Oh my
now
God.
You're talking. Yeah.
You're
That's
cooking something.
That's an 3-week feud right there.
Yeah.
All right. And by the way, Penta could actually pick a feud with Bronson, and so he would have his brother. And that's what I'm saying. It's like I think Raw, and the other problem with Raw that no one's talking about, Dominic Mysterio is doing good with the Intercontinental title. And AJ and him are making it good. They got Grande, but he's not being it's like they were doing something with Grande, with all the different Grandes. And it's almost like they all just, now it's just halted. And it's like, okay, now you're screwing it up. And now I'm looking at it going, okay, what's, you know, and then here's the other thought. I'm wondering if him and Sheamus are going to team up. Because you beat the hell out of each other, but you have that mutual respect. You put them together. Now you have now just beefed up your tag team division.
Yeah, just like that.
Yeah. Now, personally, I kind of want to keep Sheamus, or I would want to keep Sheamus and Rusev in the Intercontinental titles picture, but yet I could work around it because I think tag team with them would be better. And you play your cards right, you could put the Intercontinental title on Rusev, and you have Rusev do the honors for Sheamus, so Sheamus can finally have the WrestleMania moment with the Intercontinental title.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at it simply because
I'm here, folks. You can hire me. But yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to hire. You don't have to hire me. I'll just show up where he goes. So.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we're a package deal, folks. You know, we're Ebony and Ivory. We show up everywhere. You know, so you know, you got to deal with him.
And Ivory, together in perfect harmony, side by side on my piano.
No, we show up like Deadpool and Wolverine. People think, man, they must really hate each other. We get along fine. We just do it our way.
Why don't we?
This. But that's where it's like, and then the heavyweight title picture, I have no problem with it, except you don't have another bad guy or another heel for the face. That's the thing I feel like is missing in WWE. You have your top champion. You're not going to beat your champion, but you need somebody that is right up there, but can take some losses, but then can, you know, do whatever. And I think that's what's missing with the WWE. Is like you have those small little areas where you need that I would say I think Logan Paul's the guy to be that. I know Ron doesn't like that, but Logan Paul puts on a show. He could get people to hate him regardless, and he puts out a show. He puts out a match. You're not getting shortchanged with Logan Paul. I don't care what anyone says. I mean, it's time to give him some credit. It's not, I don't need to give him a really. He puts on a show, and that match with him and Cena, definitely, it definitely took a lot of notches up on my level. Because remember, we talked about it through WrestleMania build-up. How I brought up how John Cena should have been facing Logan Paul at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you had Logan Paul constantly cost him, and then Cena had feels backed into the corner and goes, you know what? I know what I have to do, but I want to whoop your ass. At WrestleMania. Because, by the way, this John Cena wrestling, bro, homeboy is adapting all his moveset homeboy's moves of doom. You're going, damn!
Right. Yeah.
I'm waiting for John Cena to hit Brock Lesnar with the Kimura when he goes against him in WrestlePalooza. I know that it's like this. We're not really. It's September 20th is the show, the ESPN's WrestlePalooza. That show's going to be. That show's going to be packed. I think we're looking at maybe 7 matches at most.
Yeah.
But what do you think, Cena Brock? What's like your first thoughts about this match?
My first thoughts is I think given the way Cena has been just putting on great matches, it's going to be a great match. Like the Vanessa Williams song said, he's saving the best for last. And
yes,
at the back end of his career, like he's put on great matches before. I'm not trying to shortchange John Aloysius Maleficent Cena at all.
Yes,
he's put on phenomenal matches in this run, and I expected no differently when it comes to facing Brock Lesnar. I don't expect anything different. Like in terms of like winning, I'll be curious to see. I would like to believe that John Cena should win this because it makes sense, retirement tour, whatever. But the one thing that I can, you can put your money down and you can go all in on, that it's going to be a great, great show. And it's going to be great because of John Cena. Because he's leaving it all out there for us as fans, and that's what makes this exciting.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, it's going to be a loaded call. Yeah.
Yeah.
Without question.
Yeah. I mean, and then look, you can say what you want about the card, or you could say what you want about the ESPN thing. You could say what you want about them book. Or doing this the day all out. I'm going to say John Cena versus Brock Lesnar, Seth freaking Rollins and Becky the Goat Lynch, the man, versus AJ Lee. This is what look, and we're getting it in September.
Yeah.
This isn't WrestleMania. It ain't Survivor Series. We're getting it in September. Like start in the middle of football season. So if you're a fan, buckle up. Look. We're going to talk about. We're going to have tough conversations about creative. We'll talk about people that we love. I mean, I know I'm worried about Rhea. I'm worried about Stephanie Becker. And I'm also worried about the whole Bailey Lyra thing because they have something to be really special. I think Ladarius feels something about how they're using some of the other women on SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think like SmackDown, I think also has a potential of doing something really big, but it's almost like it's like we're stuck on a treadmill with Tiffany. Tiffany Stratton needs to be having more opponents, not just Jade, not just Nia. We need some other women to show up. And I hate to say it, you may need to bring up some of the women from Raw to come in. You know, Rhea Ripley coming to SmackDown may be something that we need to talk about. I don't want to lose my mommy on Monday night, you know, but that might be something that needs to be talked about. So, you know, we'll discuss all those things. I think, you know, just stay tuned. Let's watch. Some people are calling Io versus Stephanie. They're saying that Io should win. I understand because of all the storylines. I'm actually okay with it. My thing is, don't forget Stephanie. I guess that's really what I'm saying. It's like, don't forget these wrestlers because, you know, Stephanie won that Battle Royal in Evolution, and we hadn't really seen her in the ring except for the Secret Harvest match with Rhea and Io. And it's like, okay, can we get a little more? Like, if they do a feud and you need Stephanie, I think she would be perfect with her. For Rhea to mention that she respects Stephanie as well as Io.
Mm-hmm.
That made me have some hope of maybe we can tie these women together with what's going on with the Kabuki Warriors, with Judgment. And by the way, let's give it up to Asuka. The selling she's doing with being pissed off at Io for talking to another woman. Classic jealousy. I love it. But what's anything you want to kind of before we wrap up want to talk about?
I'll just be really quick. I want to piggyback your point about the Stephanie Becker and Io Sky.
Mm-hmm.
I understand why people want Io to win. Like, let me preface that.
Yeah.
But like, here's the thing: if you're going to do something with the belt, I'm not going to be mad if Io wins it, but having exactly, Craig. As long as they do it on the cut, you know what, Craig? Like, shout out. Like, by the way, shout out to Craig. An amazing photo. I shared it on my Twitter. I'll probably share it on my Instagram later. It's that he such an amazing job,
yeah.
Craig. Craig, I will pay you for that because, like, to be the official portrait. Like, if I become president, I'm using that as the official portrait. Mr. President, that's my portrait, and that's what we're going to do.
Yes.
But to put a button on my point is that if you go with Stephanie Becker, you're opening up the possibilities to more matches. Like, I, for one, would love to see Stephanie Becker and Rhea Ripley. I want to see.
Oh yes.
I'm not opposed to it, and because here's the thing, Rhea Ripley's popularity is so, like I said, with the return of AJ Lee, that's where it matches. That's the level where it is. That Rhea Ripley does, like, as long as she's in the picture, she's in the scene, that's okay. And Stephanie Becker versus Rhea Ripley. Imagine Stephanie Becker wins, and who's your first opponent? Rhea Ripley. That's not the worst thing in the world, because if anything, it's going to be a great match. And I want people to understand is that, like, you could go either way and it's not going to upset me, but it's like, I would lean Stephanie Becker because it sends a message about the future of the women's division. Not saying Io's going anywhere anytime soon. You know, I'm not trying to say, Io's going anywhere anytime soon. It's just, it would signal like, oh, like she earned that opportunity. And then And the thing with Naomi, like, congrats to her. Congrats to her.
Yeah,
but she was supposed to have a women's title match at Clash of Paris against Naomi, and she earned it through that. She earned it, and I feel that if you have her lose to Io, I'm not saying it's going to be terrible, because like I said, you can go either way with it. But it's like Vakir put in the work, and to me, you're signaling a shift in this division, and I've talked about this on the wrestling show a lot. You're going to see this women's division shift over the next 3 to 5 years.
Yeah.
You're going to start seeing, like I tell people, enjoy Becky, if you like Charlotte, enjoy Charlotte. You like Alexa Bliss, enjoy Alexa, enjoy Bayley, enjoy the 4 horsewomen that are there, enjoy Bianca Belair, whose shirt I'm wearing, by the way.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know if I should say this on the show, but I have I ordered an extra shirt, and I'm going to send it to C-Dub because I think he'd appreciate it more than I will. I'll just leave it at. We'll talk after the show.
Oh, okay. Yeah, cool.
Because I ordered the shirt and I said no, I can't do the shirt justice. And we're about the same size, so
yeah.
You look better than me, so I just look like a guy. So,
look, we're 2 big monsters. That's what we do. We rock the big man look. We got this. It's like that.
So it's like I settle for nothing shorter than a 12X. No, it's a joke. But I like to sleep comfortably. Thank you.
Back in the day.
Yeah,
back in my Jabba the Hutt days.
Yeah. Enjoy
sausage. Oh, I don't know about that. I don't know.
No,
she's got to
Craig
get 5 more titles to.
Yeah, Craig is a big Mercedes Monet guy. From what I.
After seeing what she's been dealing with, with all those belts. Here's my thing.
Mercedes
I like what you're saying
Monet
with
belts.
Yeah, exactly. Look. Stephanie Vakir winning the title, I think, would be great. And not only that, she is 32. So it's not like she's super young. But my thing is this. They've slowed her down some because we haven't seen her. So my question is, we've got to ramp. One, we got to ramp them both up. Io and, we've seen Io on TV. It's time to see some Stephanie. My thing is this. If Stephanie loses... that's not a bad thing because we can then bring her up. Hell, have Asuka call Stephanie the match.
Mm-hmm.
Because of you, what you said. And that's why I think Io winning would tell more of the story. I'm afraid if Stephanie wins, it would be more of a also ran. You see what I'm saying? It's not, I don't think the story would center where, and I like the idea of Rhea versus Stephanie. I would love to, my personal thought would have been we either get Io wins and then Io goes against Rhea in Perth.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where either she finally gets the monkey off her back and beats Io, or you have the Kabuki Warriors cost them, stop the match basically. And Io has to make a decision. Oh, guess what's after that? War Games. Oh, now we delay it enough where at WrestleMania, either we could do it. I think you could stretch it to Mania. I really do. You could even have Rhea and Io be a tag team champions. But what I'm saying is almost like the moment will happen where Rhea beats Io. And I hope that's what we're building for. And then whatnot, but make sure it's a main moment so that when knows what he's going for. I mean, those are my thoughts. It's like I would love to see, Rhea Ripley and Io light it up at WrestleMania. I really would, to see them do it again, and actually, what the match they had at Evolution stands the time, and where people, I will not stand for anyone telling me the women don't need to worry about being in the main event of WrestleMania. I will stand up because if the story's there, and if you've got me hooked on it, I will demand that match be in WrestleMania as the main event. And I think Rhea and Io will be that coming up. Now, we'll see what all happens, because right now, Seth and Punk are telling a hell of a story right now. I mean, for every person that's a CM Punk fan and a Seth Rollins fan, they've been telling this story since a few years now. And we're just cooking. I remember telling you when Becky showed up, I said, we just now put this thing straight to the fire now. Becky, and let me tell you, I said we were going to wrap up, but I'm excited about this. Becky Lynch is interjected into this past Monday. Smacks Punk around. And then Friday night does the same thing. It was Becky selling this whole point with AJ Lee. And to me, that's what we talked about. You got to appreciate Becky. That's what you appreciate. Because I'm sorry, we talked about it the whole time about CM Punk and Seth. Something needed to happen. Well, guess what? They decided to call in the wife. Who's the man? And as soon as she gets involved, now we got AJ Lee back. And that's where I'm like, I'm with you. She's doing it great. And I thought with Lyra, she had a very good feud. I thought with Bayley, had a very good feud. Nikki, I'll forgive her. That wasn't on Becky. I can't put that on Becky. She did burn Becky, though. The legendary burn of all time. So thank you, Becky. You got to appreciate the man. But AJ Lee, I mean, that last night, that was freaking phenomenal. Oh my God. Her getting draped on Seth's shoulder was hilarious. But yeah, I mean, what did you think about all that? I mean, what are my thoughts about how what Becky is actually meant now? Because I think now it's almost like the value's shooting even higher now with her.
Look, all I'm going to say is that I kept trying to tell people about Becky Lynch. And people, I've defended Becky Lynch on this show. I feel like in terms of legal defenses, I feel like I'm 2-0. On one side, I could be the prosecutor or the defense. Like I listen, I prosecuted Jimmy Lake and I'm defending Becky Lynch. And I feel like I'm 2-0 because it's all about facts. Becky Lynch at this juncture of her career, it's all about elevation, whether it's elevating talent or elevating the title. She's all about elevating the women's division in any way possible. And people are like, oh, why is she the Intercontinental Champion? Because it helps the story. Like Becky Lynch's reign, no one's gonna remember her long reign. They're gonna remember what she did with that belt and how she elevated it. And to me, I compare it to the best to how the Miz elevated the Intercontinental Championship.
Yep.
When nobody was talking about it, he made it relevant. It's to me, and the Miz doesn't get enough credit for that run. His initial, when the run where he made that belt relevant. And I feel, and I see Becky's all about elevating herself. Well, and I agree. Like, listen, I'm not going to disagree with you, Greg. And she's elevating herself, which, hey, it helps the show. It helps, listen, imagine, I tell people, at some point, we're going to get Becky versus AJ Lee. Like, think about that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, out of all, because I believe AJ Lee. I don't think has she. I think she's fought Becky Lynch before. I'm not entirely sure, but
I'm not either. I don't know.
But I'm pretty confident because I know a part of me feels that she fought Charlotte. A part of me also feels she fought Sasha, and I'm not. But anyway, but the point is, Becky versus AJ Lee is a main event match on any PLE.
Yeah.
It's because of the fact that AJ Lee has stayed relevant and she didn't have to step in the ring for over a decade. Because she's an accomplished she writes comic books, she's an author, but she stayed relevant in the wrestling scene. It's not like she faded away and into the abyss. Her relevancy stayed. And think about the fact that Becky Lynch came back and elevated a women's division that me, myself, someone who loved wrestling and women's wrestling over 20 years, I thought, man, this women's division looks cooked. And then here comes Becky elevating. And then if it means elevating herself in the process, that's not the worst thing in the world either. And what can't be denied is that she helped elevate Tiffany Stratton. She's helped elevate Lyra Valkyria. She helped elevate Liv Morgan. She went to NXT and elevated that division. Her presence alone, even when Bayley went down there, they elevated that women's division. And that's why I say those two have done more for the division, both in and out of the ring, than anyone. And like, no disrespect to Charlotte, but Charlotte's just now getting there, and it feels a little late. So my whole point is that I think when we have that conversation about Becky Lynch's legacy, we have to talk about not just her resume in the ring, but her resume out of the ring. And this right here, like Becky Lynch versus AJ Lee, like I tell people this, if not Becky Lynch, then who else would you have face AJ Lee? And when I tell people this question, I'm not saying to be facetious, I'm not saying it to be cruel, but it feels like it's Becky Lynch.
Yeah.
It's like there's literally like, who else? If someone can give me a name, like as we're speaking now, that could do it, and Charlotte Flair elevated Becky, so ipso facto, you could thank Charlotte for everything. You know, I hate when the wise man makes a point.
Yeah. Look. How about this? Let me bring something up on that one. I think it's okay for us to actually give Charlotte praise. Okay? I think it is fair. All right.
Yeah.
Now, I think look, there are still things when you talk about Charlotte, we all will know we all joke about the Charlotte in the bank. All right. She shows up and gets a title shot. All right. We all will joke about that. Her work in the ring stands up to it. Now, what I like about this, WWE finally did something with Charlotte that I thought was mission impossible. They don't shove her down your throat. Charlotte, letting us see the real Charlotte. And I thank God for Alexa Bliss being a part of that. And now, so with that being said, I do think that needs to be brought up, how good that is. Now, Becky, though, I think Becky and Bayley stand their own. They are on their own plateaus together because of the forethought they had for the women. And I'm not saying Charlotte doesn't have that. It's just, I guess when you have certain people, you're trying to push them the way you want them to be pushed. and you get into those mindset of, hey, I'm supposed to be a big star. Give me big star treatment. Charlotte, what I'm impressed with is the fact she grew through this hard time. That was a hard situation for her to be in. I don't think many people could go through that. I know a lot of it's on her, but I truly believe this with her and Alexa has been just amazing. And it brings her to a level of you could feel comfortable liking her. And I've had friends and people message me going, bro, I never knew I could say this. But Charlotte's pretty hot. I didn't like to say this, but Charlotte, Ladarius, I think we can say that. She's one of the best. But I think Becky and Bailey, giving of themselves, working with the young women, I think that does, to me, that takes precedent. And I think that's going to be, you can look about all the things they've done and how they've came together and how people just love on them. Real quick, I wanted to read this. It's from Stu Bennett, aka Wade Barrett. He's like, I normally don't address BS reports like this, but the needless hate to be spewed towards people I work with. WWE was kindly given me a couple of weeks off for a personal time. I booked 9 months usual. This is a non-story, the end. So Wade Barrett posted that, folks. So here's what I'm going to say. That means baby on board or something close to that. So I will wait. If Wade Barrett is back in the game in 2 weeks, hell yes. All right. But I just wanted, normally we always talk about, well, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? And all I said was the timing just didn't look right. And that's what I was concerned about. Now, seeing that tweet by Wade Barrett, I feel better. I don't know about you, Ladarius, but what if you want to say anything about that or what?
No, I like to hear it from the source. And look, we don't know, and if Wade shares down the road what the personal this was made well in advance, and people like to conjecture. And the thing is that we were just shocked at it, and now we know why. So, and it came straight from the source, not So it's just we'll know more when more information comes out, and that's the kind of way to kind of play it.
Yeah, I agree. That's I'm just look. I it's like this. I don't like the wrestlers feeling or performers feel like they have to address things, but it does help fans out. So all the craziness doesn't keep running people in their heads. You can actually look and go, okay, look, guys, calm down. This is life. They can live. Okay. We talk. I know we didn't really talk about the Rhea Ripley thing, but the people in France let her go. Don't have some damn sense in your head. If they are in their gear, or if they're spending time with in a meet and greet, yeah, you could take pictures. Yeah, you can, do your selfies with them. Man, if they're out and about and you just happen to see them, and I know it's easy to do it, but man, treat them like you would treat somebody else. All right, let them enjoy their life. Let them do their thing. Stay away, because heck, if I was out and about and somebody came up to me, I'd rather be with my friends and family. I don't want to be interrupted. I'll be nice, I'll be courteous, but if like 20, 30 people did it at once, I'd probably look at them and go, hey guys, fuck off. I need to kind of spend time with my people. So I do feel for Rhea on that one. That was heartbreaking to watch. And yeah, So, and I'm glad for Wade Barrett for telling people what's up. Because, hey, here's the thing. You nip it at the butt. Wade Barrett just told you, I got a couple of weeks going to personal time. I need it. I'll be back as good as ever. See you. Oh, you won't have people going, well, I don't know. What do you think he meant? Get the hell out of here. That's where I call Ron to give me baby powder on that person. So, all right. Well, Ladarius, I'm gonna holler at you later, man. We're gonna end the stream. So me and Ladarius are gonna be bouncing out. Now we'll get together probably Monday. We got to talk about our beloved Falcons. How did they do? You know, did we win? Did we lose? And does Ron get the baby powder out? And we know it. They won't be on the top.
Yeah, yeah, you know what, Craig, you're right.
We need to have Ladarius right.
Yeah, like you
when
can.
I'm on the streets,
feel free to approach me. I'm very approachable, and just don't my wise man will handle the details, but I'm very approachable. So I think that's the takeaway from the last couple of minutes of this show. So.
Yeah. Look. I'm just saying. Look, I'm a good guy. You can talk to me, but there's a point where I have to activate my Bernie Mac card and just smack everybody if I have to when I walk into the room.
And we have a letter from the estate of Bernie Mac that says, "quote No."
Hey, look, that was one of the best scenes in the movie I ever saw. Mac and everybody walking. It's hilarious. It's just smack like my dog. RP Bernie Mac. So working with the results of Fowler. We'll try to do it around Ladarius. What's a good time for you Monday? One try to do 3.
We can try to do 3.
All right, we're gonna try to do. We'll try to shoot for 3 o'clock, folks. We're gonna have fun. This is the CLR show. Thank you all so much for being a part of it. Eventually, we'll try to get it to where we'll be able to have some graphics and stuff. But right now, I think we can work with free for a while. But with that being said, I'm C Double. That's Mr. Laddie Daddy himself, and we're out.